Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. Double honor to the apostles of GMS. My name is Anna. Come next in the video. In this video, I want to go into to Israel's breaking of international law. I'm not talking about the nation of Israel, the real nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. I'm talking about these so-called Jews that claim them to be Israelites, to be claimed to be the real Jews of the Bible who reside in the land of Israel. Okay, it says Israel's is from Ireland Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Israel's violations of international law. A brief introduction. Human rights and Palestinian solidarity activists frequently mention violations of international law and the commission of war crimes by the state of Israel. The IPSC National Coordinator Kevin Squires took a look at some of these offenses in detail for Liberty, the monthly newspaper of Pt.1, the largest trade union in Ireland. Collective punishment. Israel operates a military policy of collective punishment called the Dahiyya Doctrine. After the area in Lebanon, where it was first used by Israeli forces in 2006, simply put, the doctrine sees massive force being used upon the civilian population in order to exert political pressure on enemy forces. So basically, what Israel is doing, they're using force upon the civilian population in order to exert political pressure on enemy forces. So basically, they're dealing with they're attacking and killing the civilian population in order to get the government to make in order to get their forces to make a move. Aside from being a classic definition of the word terrorism, Article 33 of the Fourth Geneva Convention, which Geneva is in Switzerland, defines collective punishment as a war crime, stipulating that no person may be punished for an offense he or she has not personally committed. Collective penalties and likewise all measures of intimidation or of terrorism are prohibited. Reprisals against persons and their property are prohibited. So what Israel is doing is wrong. They're going against international law, international humanitarian law, according to the Fourth Geneva Convention, Article 33. The first Israeli settlements were built. Let's see the scripture on that. Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. And the wicked talking about Esau, the so-called white man, so-called white race, also known as nation of Edom in the Bible. In the land of uprightness he will deal unjustly. The land of uprightness is talking about the land of Israel. He will deal unjustly. Now that's talking about deal unjustly in accordance to the scriptures. But this damn devil don't do unjustly according to his own laws. Okay? He do unjustly according to his own laws. He's a hypocrite. And will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Okay? He won't uphold the majesty of the Lord. And there's all kind of madness going on in the land of Israel. They got homosexuals running around out there, having homosexual parades, and all types of madness is going on. You know? Let's go back. The first Israeli settlement, so he's going against the laws of the Most High. Why wouldn't he go against his own laws? The first Israeli settlements were built in late 1967, immediately following the military occupation of the Palestinian territories. Today, over 500,000 Jewish Israelis live in such settlements. As Article 49 of the Fourth Geneva Convention states that it is illegal for an occupying power to deport or transfer parts of its own civilian population into the territory it occupies. All such settlements are thus war crimes. UN Security Council Resolution 446 declares settlements have no legal validity. In 1980, Israel, that's another thing they're doing that's going off. That's why I said over 500,000 Jewish Israelis live in such settlements in Palestine. In 1980, following the occupation of the Palestinian territories, I should say. In 1980, Israel formally annexed East Jerusalem as Israel's complete and united capital. UNSC, that's UN Security Council, Resolution 478 declares the annexation a violation of international law, which is null and void and must be rescinded. UNSC Resolution 497 similarly states that Israel's annexation of the Syrian Golan Heights is also illegal. Look at the word annexation. What does that mean? Annexation. Annexation, add meaning to, nexus meaning joining, is the administrative action and concept of international law relating to the forcible transition of one's territory by another state. It is generally held to be an illegal act. It is distinct from conquest, which refers to the acquisition of control over a territory involving a change of sovereignty, and differs from cession, in which territory is given or sold through treaties. Some annexation is a unilateral act where territory is seized and held by one state. It usually follows military occupation of a territory. And unilateral means an act or decision performed by or affecting only one person, group, or country involved in a particular situation without the agreement of another or the other. So they're doing this without the agreement of others, without the agreement of that state itself. And this is some annexation, which is the forcible transition of one state territory by another state. Okay? Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgressed Pt.1, he is a proud man. Pt.1 through philosophy. So his philosophy, according to the UNSC, the UN Security Council, as well as International Humanitarian Law, IHL, or the Geneva Convention, that's his philosophy. He transgresses Pt.1. He goes against his own philosophies. That transgresses Pt.1 is him creating philosophies that's against the scriptures. Okay? But Esau is transgressing through his own philosophy. He's a proud man, needs to keep it at home. He does that because he's proud, and he needs to keep it at home. He don't want to stay in his own fucking land, man. Why don't you damn motherfuckers go back?